Gentleman Ghost, you are the only one. No one comes to these chats anymore. Look at these beautiful cherry blossoms. They've been falling down since 2 days. But the view is still beautiful. How are you doing? It's been kind of coldish recently. Cherry paddle, cherry blossom paddle. The storm of pink sakura. There were so many people here before, and in the past few days people ran away. What is this? Someone lost their items. Hard drive, pocket Wi-Fi, no, battery, pocket Wi-Fi and glasses. My goodness. Maybe they'll come back. That stuff looks like it's waterproof. Sound of bulbul. Beautiful. Life is testing you. Quiet meditation. Yes, well, hope things are going well. A little bit of test is good. Look at this. Does it smell? Oh, a little bit of smell is there. Impermanent here. Sakura's falling. I've been traveling a bit. Went to Gunma Prefecture to explore Dinosaur Center and one cave, but that cave was just like so awesome. It took 30 minutes to walk inside, and I think it was the best cave I've ever been in Japan. Japan is the place. I know. It's there on that bench where someone was enjoying the cherry blossoms and things have fallen off the pocket, maybe. Well, you know, it's a hit and miss. Sometimes things just, someone takes it. Can't help it. But most of the time I think the things are still there. Sometimes people put them on top of some visible place like a branch, which might be not the same place where you lost it. I lost my ID like that once, and I retraced my steps a few days later, and the ID was like on the hedge. I don't even remember like dropping it. It probably got dropped on the sidewalk, and yeah. Yeah, you know, the cave was pretty awesome. It started through a huge concrete tunnel, and then I had to walk upstairs through a spiral staircase, and it wasn't very claustrophobic, but I am not claustrophobic, so I can't really tell. But the scary thing was there were bats inside, and at some point in the cave there was this fenced area which said bat guano here. and there's so many, like, stalactites, stalagmites, like, wow. And at one point there was intersection with 6 directions. Now that one we can get lost. Some more cherry trees here. Especially they look very nice when there is a dark background. But at one point in the cave, of course I was fascinated with the bats sleeping upside down, and I've been so close to them. I've never seen them so close. But there was also one point in the cave where I looked up and I saw a little bit of real sky. Like there was access somewhere on top of the mountain from the top into that cave. Incredible. Yeah. And there was no one there. Like I was the only person. I needed to drive there for an hour, more than an hour away from the biggest city and the highway. And I seriously, if you saw these villages on the way, I wondered, where are the people? Why is it so quiet? There's no lights here. First village, second village, fourth village. Where do people get gasoline here? Where is the grocery store? There's nothing. I think the 6th village had the gasoline station, but it was so tiny. And by the time I was going back, it was getting so dark, and there was nobody there. Like, driving in the rain in a dark place like this, zombie apocalypse. No thanks. Cuba is scary enough without the cave. I don't think I could do that kind of crazy stuff. But the dinosaur center was fun. There was also nobody there. So beautiful, no tourist places. Trap places. The dinosaur center had some nice dinosaur footprints when they were building the road in the mountains. They realized, wow, these are actually huge dinosaur footprints. And those things are really like, wow, huge. If you discovered something like this, you'd think, oh my God, Jurassic Park, for real. You went into the cave alone, you're crazy. Well, it's got lights, it's got human life sensors. It's like a safe cave, Not like those caves where you have to bring your own light. Oh, did I tell you? I went to the geocachers meeting, and it was a snow day here in Tokyo. It was a couple months back, and after the meeting we went to the tunnels in the mountains. Like during the war, Japanese aircraft factory moved from not far away in Tokyo to the tunnels in the mountains so they don't get bombed. And the Americans, they bombed a whole area all around there. But since the factory was inside the tunnels, it was all untouchable. And yeah, the tunnels were opened, were always there. And I think in the 90s, first after the war, they were checked by the US if they're safe, and cleared all the machines from there. Apparently the machines were American, so so there was nothing left in those tunnels. So in the 1990s, some TV comedian personality went there to tour. And he's like, oh, what's this on the floor? He pulls this this thing, and it's like a stick of a dynamite. And apparently, you know, the tunnel got collapsed, and some of that stuff had been buried under. But this was the thing: you pay insurance, you get a helmet, you bring your own light, you bring your own shoes. It could be dirt, mud, whatever. Inside, nothing is secured or safe. Some tunnels were like collapsed, so we had to like climb onto the collapse and then descend again. And I think in total there were 11 kilometers of these tunnels, but we only did barely one. And it was kind of fun. You could see the bats in there. You could see the tunnels were all dug by, you know, hand, dynamite. There were still holes where they were loading the dynamite into the side of the walls to dig and expand. Incredible, I tell you. There were leftovers from the railway inside the cave, and then they could trace the railway outside of the cave and inside the cave to the train station. Yeah, I imagine no one can before they drill into you and give you some food, you are dead, like those coal miners, you know. And then I think there was another thing when somebody pulled out from that cave like a little thing made of metal, and it was like this incendiary bomb that was dropped there to like burn everything. God. Incredible. The cave adventure was really cool. And of course, everybody went and made sure the guide didn't see, because there was a geocache planted close by. And then we covered some few other geocaches. Yeah, it was a good time. Nothing better than to do it with the geocaching community. Then there was also the train station nearby. And you could see the bullet holes that were left there from, I think, the American airplanes, Mustang airplanes shooting machine gun fire. And that thing was like embedded into the pillars of the train station. Oh yeah, Poland has lots of caves. Yeah, we have plenty. But there is one where the Nazis have whole complex of tunnels, and no one has really explored that fully yet. They're really huge though. Very famous too. They were building, you know, that secret project. What was it? The V2 rocket to reach US. And then there was something. It was all secret. Like no one knows why. But there's some speculations, like, you know, nuclear reactors or something like that. You know, this is before the nuclear reactors actually were discovered by science. I've been to some caves in Poland. It's kind of fun. But, you know, they're all safe. I swear there's gotta be somewhere a cave full of all that looted gold and museum paintings. There's so many things that never came back after, you know, they got looted. The Amber Room from Russia. That thing was like whole room in some castle made of amber, and that's gone. Yeah. They think it burned somewhere down. But there's no confirmation of that at all. No, I've been in Gunma a few times a long time ago. Every time I drive, oh, is this Gunma? Oh, yeah, it is. But I can tell you, man, it's on some Antarctica where there's nothing. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe, you have to have everything delivered. Electricity is there, but gas, yeah, that's extra. There's no city, no nothing. Maybe you can see some few old people walking there and here. It's pretty intense. And then finding the dinosaur footprints in the ground. And you think, oh my god. But I can tell you, everybody in that prefecture they were dealing with stones, like these huge stones from these mountains and rivers. They even had sales places of stones, like this stone, $100, that one, $500. That multi-ton stone over there, $3,000. And I think people, buy this and chisel whatever they want. Maybe they use them for some, siding of the house or tiles or gravestones. And before that, I was, after that, I was in Saitama, which is right outside here. The most boring prefecture in the whole Japan, they say. And I went to see the Moomin Valley. You know Moomins? There used to be a cartoon, I guess. Well, it's a book from Sweden or Finland by Tove Jansson. Moomin Valley was awesome. It was just, what are Moomins doing here? And apparently they have lots of Moomin shops all around here. You can buy these Moomin plates, Moomin forks, Moomin branded everything, even the Moomin mascots. And all the other characters, if you know them. I watched that stuff when I was a kid. So I kind of remember those names in Polish. But yeah, I think Japanese have their own, but maybe they're kind of English too. Moomins. There was Snufkin. There was Moomin's papa and mama. It's an interesting place, I tell you. Right in the boonies, at the side of a water dam, like a dam on the river. Oh, it's cracky, it's beautiful. I've never counted because I never go far. But I've been driving around Kyushu, I've been driving around Osaka. I drove from Osaka all the way here, passing all the prefectures. I've been to Saitama, Gunma, Fukushima. I think Fukushima is the furthest. No, actually I went to Hokkaido, but that's not a prefecture, I think. Haven't been down in Aomori. Okinawa, I've been to Okinawa. Yeah, there's some things in the middle where there's really nothing and no one wants to live there. People who cannot afford to live in big places, they live in such places, Like it's so scary, my gosh. If you need to go to hospital, you really have to go like to the big city. Or if you want to have like specialized hospital, you need to go to Tokyo. Which, I don't know, you might have to travel 1,000 kilometers. hope nothing happens to you during that time. But Shinkansen is fun to ride, and well, not if you're sick. Yeah, I probably went to more than 10. I just don't remember anymore. I never, it's hard to tell where you are, because when you press, when you can only know when the navigation tells you, oh, now leaving Tokyo, now Saitama, you're entering Saitama. But if you miss that, you just don't know where you are. Don't they have signs on the highway saying, yeah, they do, but they are just not standardized. So it's hard to pay attention. It could be just a bridge somewhere with a river, and here is like, okay, you're in Saitama, okay. Oh, I went to Saitama before those dinosaurs, and I went to a library with it's a museum or culture center museum built by Ken Gokuma architect. It was like in the middle of nowhere, closer to like a bigger city, but not really, a medium kind of city on the outskirts by the river. It was like this huge granite irregular rock building. So cool. Like, the entrance was inside. It was just incredible. I visited there twice. Once I visited the exhibition of Tutankhamun. They had the whole grave reconstructed inside, which was really cool. But this time I just went, and there was no any exhibition. But still, inside there's this kind of a bookstore, and then there's a library. Downstairs is like a manga library. You can read whatever you like. They have all the editions, because it always varies volumes of something. Some models of manga characters. Projection mapping in a big library. There's this library which has books. You can browse any of the books, but it's like for like 20 meters up, and they had projection mapping on top of those books, which was really cool, as if the books were coming to life. And there was a tiny mall, convenience store, even a modern style shrine built in a modern style, like from 21st century. That was awesome, but it was raining all the time. Yeah, on the highways maybe they have some signs. Actually, highways I've never seen. I mean, I go so fast on the highway. I don't think any sign would catch your attention. Sometimes you drive here and you don't know when you enter like Kawasaki City, or is this Tokyo, or is this Yokohama. Sometimes it's like you're entering Tokyo, you're entering Yokohama, you're entering Tokyo, you're entering Yokohama, you're entering Kawasaki, because there's some border, and it's like crossing the street a few times. It's just funny. Oh yeah, the gas went up, and then government did something before it, so it made it cheaper. Then the price went up. Then the government opened the reserves, so the gas price is cheap now. I think it's like 148 yen per liter. And if you have a hybrid car, yeah, it's okay. But everybody who has electric car is like the winner. They never have to worry. And who knows, if the reserves run out, I have no idea. Bicycle, I guess. That will be like the end of the civilization here, because there will be now no deliveries to like the stores and convenience stores. I think everything is they all rely on gasoline. But everything else is going up, so it's pretty bad. Like food is expensive, and anything that has to do with gas, which like house insulation, imported things, everything like electronics, so basic stuff like appliances, they just go up and up and up and up. Yeah, I always had a hybrid. My gosh, hybrid just burns so little. It's amazing. I wish I had the electric though. Or like the hydrogen cars. Toyota makes, I think, hydrogen car. That is so cool. Your exhaust is just vapor. Yeah, I cannot imagine like driving normal car. These things just suck the gasoline like crazy. Even a hybrid van, it will guzzle everything up. Mine is kind of super efficient, which I'm pleased with. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. Man, good kiwis that were sold here for like a decade from New Zealand are gone. There's nothing left. Nothing left but the local terrible kiwis. I wish the New Zealand would send more. I don't know what happened. They have some kind of kiwi crisis. Yeah. I was geocaching a lot. I got flat tire on my bicycle, and then I had to get a tube. Actually, I repaired that tire, but I got a tube just to repair that, because the repaired one lasted only a few weeks, and then I had to replace it. But now I am ready to geocache more. Look at these rental bicycles, fully loaded. They're from different places. Sometimes you can find one like not from Tokyo. But I think they have just advertisements, darn. My last big road trip was 3,000 miles, but had Toyota Prius hybrid. Yeah, I rented that one in Hokkaido once. Pretty cool and comfy. I mean, good enough, It wasn't too bad. Now I have, what did I have? Corolla Touring Hybrid. What is it called? Corolla Touring Hybrid. Something. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get going. Battery is dead. And data too. Thanks for coming, and keep healthy. Hopefully things will improve. So take care. Bye for now.